what's going on? It's Tony from LearnAutoBodyandPaint.com. Thanks for watching this quick video today. I'm not going to make it too long. I just wanted to show you a couple of tips on block sanding. I've been getting a lot of questions on my newsletter about block sanding, and I wanted to do a live review just on going over some block sanding tips here. Okay, so we have bondo here, right? We had a couple of dents on this car, and we're going to go ahead and sand these down with some 80 grit. Now, this is a cornered, a round surface here. This is a little bit more flat, and then we have some flat ones on the door here. This big one I'm not going to do because I would probably use the DA with this one. It's so big. Just to cut it down quickly first, then I would block it out. Another thing you could do to reduce a lot of sanding is after you lay it on, rasp it. I didn't have time to rasp it because on the last Google Hangout, I just went around the car recording and just laying all this bondo down, and I was talking to you guys, so I didn't have time to come back and rasp it. Rasping is the cheese grater rasp thing, and you use it to rasp your body filler down close to the metal as possible, so it just reduces a lot of sanding time for you. All right, so let's talk about blocks for a second. This is called the holy block because there's some holes in it, right? I like to hold it like this because I can put my finger in these holes here and give me a little bit of grip while I'm blocking. You know, I like to use it like that. Some people use it this way for cutting, like this way. Some people use it like that. They say it cuts better, but I really never noticed a difference. So I like to use my blocks like this. Also, when I'm wet sanding, I'll dip it into the bucket. Sometimes, I'll get a little bit of water in here while I'm doing it, while I'm wet sanding, and I'll just go like that and have some dribbles of water on it. Okay, so all I'm using is a disc of 80 grit here. Okay, I was sanding some wood earlier, but and then I'll just put it on like this. Okay, hold it like that. And then I'll start blocking. I'm going to do these pieces right now for you, and I'm going to do some on the door, and I'm going to show you also how we use a little bit of guide coat to get a better idea. This is a longer block. Okay, you could have the straight sandpaper. You could put the straight sandpaper on. You could cut a sheet of paper and put it on there. But I didn't have any regular square sheets of sandpaper, so I just put 2 of the 80 grits on like this, and I sand. This is a bigger block. They have longer blocks, like 18-inch blocks, and they even have a 24-inch block, 2-foot-long block. All right, that's if you're doing door panels and stuff, especially on classic cars. There's a lot of flat areas on the hoods, the trunks, and big doors. You need a big flat block if you're going to be doing that kind of work. Here I got my air straight sander. Okay, this is a straight sander here. Usually put 80 grit, 36 grit, heavy duty paper on here, and you would use this on flat areas. We're not going to be using this machine today. I wanted to just go over strictly hand blocking these little bondo areas and giving you a guide coat and showing you how to use that. Okay. I also have another Dura-Block. I can't find it, but it's a Dura-Block like this, but a long block. Okay, these blocks are pretty cool. It's a good brand. Rubbery. You could roll up your sandpaper on it to get curves, especially good for classic cars as well, because a lot of classic cars, by the quarter panel area where it goes into the back windshield, there's a lot of curvy areas, especially around the lights and stuff. You just roll the paper on it and you sand, in curvy areas. Pretty cool. You could also use anything you want as a block. Okay. Here are the old style, the rubber blocks. All right, the old school. And then you got like a foamy block. This is good for water sanding and just cutting things down quickly. I like to use this when water sanding with 400 or doing a little cutting with my clear coat. So if I want to sand with 2000 grit or so, I'll use like blocks like this, like a soft. You can see how it's soft like that. And this is by Meguiar's. Okay, and it's just an easy block to work with. And these are also good for corners. You know, if you could see how it, one sec, you could see how, you know, you could kind of get the shape of a corner in after. But I wouldn't really use this on a round area like this from the beginning, right? I would use a hard block like what I have here, and then I would go a little at a time. Let me show you. We're going to do this right now, okay? I just wanted to talk to you about what you could use as blocks. And we also use a basic painter stick, all right? A stir, okay? Another common thing we do is you could get a stir like this. I would break it, okay? Like that. And you could wrap your sandpaper on it and get into tiny areas. Or if you need a little block, okay? If you need a little block to do a little, you know, you wouldn't necessarily use it on this, but I like to use little sandpaper blocks like this in between doors. So if I'm doing a project, right, and I need to get in a certain area or get a shape on a door, you know, if this whole area was damaged on both sides and I had to build up bondo on the quarter panel and the door and I wanted to get an even seam across it, that's when I would use something like this, right, between fenders and gappings and stuff to get your gapping correct. This is a great way to you know, cut down the bondo and work it. You know what I mean? But in this case, we really don't need this. I'm just showing you as an example when you could use little flat blocks like this. They come in really handy. You could use anything, you know? Your imagination, let your imagination run wild. So let's go ahead. I'm not gonna wear a mask because I'm gonna be all muffled out when I talk to you. But let's go ahead and sand this one down, do a little bit of guide coat, show you the difference, and show you how quickly you could get dents out with just a little block sander and all of that. So let's go ahead and hit this area quick, and I'll show you how I crisscross it and how I would go about sanding an area like that, okay? So let's go. So notice I'm going with the body, right? It's round up here, so I'm following the body line, okay? Crisscross it, crisscross to cut it quicker. And your whole goal is to feather out your edges. Okay, now I got the top shape kind of in. I'm gonna focus toward the bottom a little bit more now. Let's get you a better view. It might be too white for you to see. There we go. Kind of take out some of the light. Now you can see a little bit better. All right, so this dent is kind of in the way with this, so I'm just going to go ahead and follow the whole thing here. Okay. Okay, you can see, if you see areas like this, you know maybe, right, you have to put some filler in here. Okay, maybe we didn't sand enough. So a lot of it comes to using the powder on your hands, right? And you feel the spot, you feel it. So when I'm feeling it like this, hey, I feel it coming up. So it needs to be cut down a little bit more. All right, in here feels good. So if you're not sure, this is what you do. regular rattle can black paint. Okay, and we just do a little bit of guide coat. Okay, let that dry for a second. And then after that dries, then you hit it again. And when you're sanding, you know that if you see any dark areas, those are all the low spots. Okay, you need to refill in those areas. But the goal is to get everything flat. So the goal is to actually get all the black off again. Okay, so let's give it another 60 seconds. And another thing I do is I keep a box like this around with all kinds of sandpapers and all kinds of grits in it, like used, you know, because sometimes you never know. You're going to need a 320. Sometimes you use a 320 on something for a bit, but there's still a lot of grit on it. Pieces of 80 grit, you know, to get in corners and stuff. Full sheets. So I throw paper away when they really go bad, but if there's a little bit of grit left that I know I can use later, I just throw it in this box. All right, so it's good to have a box of just sandpaper that you could dig through when you're working on something and just sand, you know what I mean? Okay. And that you constantly want to kind of hit your sandpaper pad to take all the dust and caking off. All right. So let's go ahead and let me get in here a little bit. Okay, that's getting to where what we filled is done. Filled. Okay, I don't feel any dent. It's all good. All right, this one is done. 80 grit. We got the general shape done. Now what I would do is get a little bit of 240, 280, scuff the area, and then prime it. Okay, you want to make sure you sand this whole area, you know, with your 240 or 280 grit. So when you prime, your primer is going to blend into everything in here. Once your primer dries, you could go ahead and wet sand it with 400. If you prime it and you have a little bit of pinholes in your bondo or little chips or nicks or deep scratches, you can use that time to fill it with a little bit of glaze putty if your primer didn't take care of it. Okay, but let's finish this top one up here because as you can see, we got a little bit of area in here we got to take out, right? So let's go ahead and finish that one. So I'm going to go ahead. Okay, that feels like it for me, but I'm a little iffy in here. Feels a little ripply in here. All right, so to test that, to make sure, I'm going to guide coat it again right in here, and then I'm going to slowly block it to show you because I really wanted to take that lip out. So let me guide coat it one last time. All right, we'll let that dry. And then we will hit it again. and it'll confirm if we need to add a little bit of filler to that or no. Okay, just by doing this right here. Okay. Feel it? No, it actually feels really good. Feels really good. So if there is a little ripple, okay, very minor, very little, your primer should take care of that when you block sand. All right, but I don't feel anything. It feels really straight to me, really straight. Okay, because we did have a big dent here and a big dent here. Now I don't feel nothing. So what I would do after this, like I said, is 320, 280. You could go from 240, 280 to 320. It really doesn't matter. You just want to get it a little bit finer before you prime it. All right, so I would do whatever paper I got, maybe a 280. Scuff it down a little bit more, get the bondo a little bit smoother. Of course, you know, doing it with the block, and then prime the whole area. Then you're done. Pretty easy. Okay, so that's how you would block sand easily by hand. All of these. Now, if you know how to use a DA, use a DA. It's going to be a lot quicker. Like all these flat spots, I would use a DA. Where's my DA at? It's around the shop somewhere. I can't find it. But I would use a DA, hit this spot and show you. Let me find it. Let me get it, and I'll show you how quickly we could take one of these down using a DA, orbital sand. Hey, here it is. All right, got some 80 grit on it. My regular DA. I'm going to show you how quick it is to take these down. Now, if you know how to use the machine, it really comes in handy. Okay, got my DA. All right, now we're just gonna take this sucker down, maybe take this little one down. Let's do the little one first. Okay. Quickly, you always want to keep your DA flat to the surface. All right, flat, hold it nice and flat, and you go in this kind of motion. Watch. Keep it flat. You can see it's taking the high spot. Too much light. Too much light. Okay, you can kind of see. All right, you can see that. You could see the white is the high spot, right? It's taking all this area here is still low, and we always want to keep our DA flat. Let's get you a little closer. All right, to cut it. Always follow the body line, and you can't screw up. You know, the bottom is all done here now. Just got to get the top. And sometimes if you have a thick piece of bondo, you want to use the tip of your DA, okay, the tip right in here, okay, to push against like this, okay. You want to push against it. Let me see if we can get you a better angle. Okay, kind of like this. Okay, push against it to take the ridge out. And maybe I'll just do that right now for you. Okay, look. It's really not necessary because it's such a small dent, but you know, mostly small dents like this you keep flat. And then that's it. Okay, dent is filled, and we know it's flat. All right, I feel no more ripple. She feels good, and that's how quick DAs can take down your body work. Okay, I'll just do this one for the hell of it, last one, and then we will call it a video. And I hope you liked it. Please like, subscribe, share the video, and also go to learnautobodyandpaint.com to learn more and get your free auto body DIY manual. But let me go ahead and finish this one for you right now, and then I'll say cheers. Sometimes you want to just cut the high stuff down and then finish off with a block sander if you don't feel comfortable. If you feel like you're going to cut too much with the DA or you don't have much experience with the DA, get down about this far and then put some spray paint on it, your guide coat, and then finish it off with the block if you don't feel comfortable. All right, but if you feel comfortable with the DA, finish them all down like this, hit it with another 280, and then prime it. Then you're done with the dent. Okay, basically filled and done. All right, same thing for these areas, just all right, when working around door handles, of course you want to tape mask this up. Or if you're really anal, you could take the door handle out, whatever you want to do. All right, me, I'm going to mask it. I'll probably get to this area with a block, right? Get in this area with a block, and then probably just block this area out. You know, I could probably hit it with the DA a little like this, cut it down, and then finish it off with the block. That's the basics of it. I hope you enjoyed the show. We're going to go ahead and hit this one with the DA in a bit, and all of this is going to be recorded. The whole car is going to be recorded, and I'll have the rest of these videos available for you in VIP. So that's about it. I'll be making more videos soon. Hope you liked it. Quick little, I don't know how long this took, 15, 20 minutes maybe, not sure. But I hope you liked it. Pretty easy to do. And to your auto body and paint DIY success, go ahead and go tackle your car now. It's Tony. Talk to you soon. Please like, share, and visit learnautobodyandpaint.com to get your free DIY auto body manual. Have a good day, man. Thanks. Bye.